Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Active Listening. I'm your host, Alyssa, and I'm so thrilled to have you join me today. As we dive into a really fun and incredibly useful topic for anyone wanting to truly understand and speak like a native English speaker, we're going to explore some of the most common and essential American slang words that you absolutely need to know. Understanding slang isn't just about sounding cool or fitting in. It's about truly grasping the nuances of everyday conversations. Think about it. When you're watching an American movie or TV show, or listening to music, or even just chatting with someone from the US online, you've probably heard phrases or words that don't quite match what you learned in your textbooks. That's where slang comes in. It's the informal, often playful language that breathes life into our everyday communication. It can be tricky because it changes so quickly and can be different from region to region. But don't worry. Today we're going to focus on some universal American slang that you'll hear almost everywhere. We'll break down what each word means, how to use it in context, give you plenty of examples, and even some little practice prompts to help you solidify your understanding. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's jump right in.
What exactly is slang?
Before we get into specific words, let's just quickly touch on what slang really is. Slang refers to informal words and phrases that are generally used in casual conversation, often among a particular group of people or in a specific setting. It's not formal English, so you wouldn't use it in a business presentation or an academic paper. But it's absolutely vital for understanding natural, spontaneous speech. Slang can make your English sound more natural, more friendly, and frankly, just more like a native speaker. It adds flavor and personality to the language. And remember, the goal here isn't just to memorize words, it's to understand the feeling and the context in which these words are used. Essential American slang words. You need to know all right. Let's start with our first very popular American slang word.
Chill.
Our first word is chill. Now, chill is a fantastic word because it has a couple of different meanings, and you'll hear it all the time. Primarily, it means to relax or calm down. If someone tells you to chill out, they're asking you to relax, maybe because you seem stressed or upset. For example, if you're rushing around, feeling overwhelmed by too many tasks, a friend might say, "Hey, just chill for a bit. We'll get it done." Or maybe you're in an argument and one person says to the other, Whoa, chill. Let's just talk this through calmly." It can also describe a relaxed and laid-back atmosphere or person. You might hear someone say, "That party was so chill. Great music and good vibes." Or, "My new boss is really chill, very easy to talk to." A third common usage is simply to mean cool or awesome, especially when describing something pleasant or impressive, like "that new movie was totally chill," or "we had a chill time at the beach today." It's super versatile. Now, for your practice, think about a time recently when you felt stressed or overwhelmed. What would you tell yourself to chill? Or imagine you had a really relaxed and enjoyable evening. How would you describe it using the word chill? Take a moment to form a sentence in your mind.
Hang out.
Next up, we have a common phrase that describes social activity. Hang out. This simply means to spend time with someone or somewhere, usually in a casual, relaxed way, without a specific plan or agenda. It's not about doing something formal or intense. It's just about enjoying company or a place. For instance, if your friend asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" you might reply, "Oh, I'm just going to hang out with my family," meaning you'll just be spending time together casually. Or perhaps you're planning to meet friends, and you say, "Let's just hang out at the coffee shop for a while," meaning you'll sit, chat, and enjoy each other's company without a big plan. It's perfect for those easygoing, informal gatherings. For practice, think about who you like to hang out with the most. And where is your favorite place to hang out on a lazy afternoon? Try to describe your ideal hangout session in a simple sentence.
Bummer.
Our third word is bummer. This is a casual way to describe a disappointing or unfortunate situation. It's not usually used for major tragedies, but for everyday letdowns. If your plans for a picnic get rained out, you might say, "Oh, what a bummer. I was really looking forward to that." Or if you miss your bus by just a second, you might sigh and say, "That's a real bummer." It conveys a sense of mild disappointment or frustration. It's a very empathetic word, too. If a friend tells you something bad happened, you can respond with, "Oh, bummer," to show you understand and sympathize with their disappointment. Now, for a quick practice, recall a small disappointment you've experienced recently. How would you express that feeling using the word bummer? Perhaps your favorite restaurant was closed. What would you say?
No biggie.
Moving on, we have no biggie. This is a super casual and friendly way of saying no big deal, or it's not a problem. It's used to downplay something that might seem like an inconvenience or a mistake, assuring someone that it's not important or doesn't cause any trouble. Imagine you accidentally spill a little water on the table, and you apologize. Your friend might wave their hand and say, "No biggie. It's just water. I'll wipe it up." Or if you're running a couple of minutes late and you text your friend to let them know, they might text back, "No biggie, I just got here myself." It's a way to show flexibility and ease, making others feel comfortable. Your practice for no biggie. Think of a small favor someone did for you, and you wanted to tell them it was no trouble. How would you use no biggie to express that? Or imagine someone accidentally bumps into you gently. How would you respond?
Wheels.
Next up, wheels. This is a fun and very common slang term for a car or any vehicle with wheels that you drive. You'll often hear people say things like, "I need to get some new wheels soon. My old car is breaking down." Or if you're planning a trip with friends, someone might ask, "Who's got wheels for the road trip?" Meaning, who has a car we can use? It's a simple, informal way to refer to your ride. It implies personal transportation. Not usually a bus or a train, but specifically a car. For practice, if you were talking about wanting to buy a new car, how would you refer to it using this slang term? Or if you needed a ride somewhere, how would you ask if someone had wheels?
Couch potato.
Now for a vivid image, couch potato. This is a somewhat humorous and affectionate, or sometimes slightly critical term for a very lazy person who spends an excessive amount of time sitting or lying on a couch, usually watching television or playing video games. It paints a picture of someone whose main activity is lounging. For example, after a long week, you might say, "This weekend, I'm just going to be a total couch potato. Catch up on all my shows." Or a parent might jokingly scold their child, "Stop being such a couch potato and go outside and play." It implies a lack of physical activity and a preference for sedentary leisure. Your turn to practice. Describe someone you know, or even yourself, who loves to relax on the couch. How would you use couch potato to describe that behavior?
Spill the beans.
Here's an idiomatic slang phrase, spill the beans. This means to reveal a secret or to accidentally disclose information that was supposed to be kept private. It's like imagine a container of beans and suddenly they all fall out. The secret is out. For instance, if you're planning a surprise party for a friend and you tell someone, whatever you do, don't spill the beans about the party. You're warning them not to reveal the secret. Or if a friend tells you something exciting but asks you to keep it quiet, you might say, "Don't worry, I won't spill the beans." It's often used when information is revealed unintentionally, but it can also be used as a playful demand for information, like, "Come on, spill the beans. What's the big news?" For practice, imagine your friend knows a big secret about an upcoming event. How would you playfully ask them to spill the beans?
Hit the road.
Our next phrase is hit the road. This means to leave a place or to begin a journey. It's commonly used when it's time to depart. For example, if you're at a friend's house late in the evening, you might say, "Well, it's getting late. I should probably hit the road." Or if you're planning a long trip, you might say, "We need to hit the road early tomorrow morning to avoid traffic." It implies a decisive departure. It's quite active. You're not just leaving, you're hitting the road. Your practice moment. Imagine you're at a party and it's time for you to go home. What would you say to your friends using hit the road?
Crush.
Now, let's talk about crush. This is a very common and often sweet slang term used to describe a strong, often intense feeling of romantic attraction towards someone, usually someone you don't have a relationship with yet. It implies a secret admiration or infatuation. You might hear a teenager say, "I have a huge crush on the new student in my class." Or an adult might say, "I used to have a big crush on my high school teacher." When you have a crush on someone, it often means you think about them a lot, feel nervous around them, or get excited when you see them. It's usually a temporary feeling, but it can be very strong while it lasts. For your practice, imagine you heard a friend talking about someone they really like. How would you describe your friend's feelings using the word crush? Or think about a celebrity you admire. You could say you have a crush on them.
Sick.
Next up, sick. Now, this is a perfect example of how slang can completely change the meaning of a word. In formal English, sick means ill or unwell. But in American slang, particularly among younger generations, sick often means extremely good, impressive, or cool. It's used to express strong approval or admiration. For example, if someone shows you their new skateboard tricks, you might exclaim, "Wow, that was sick." Or if you hear an amazing song, you might say, "This beat is sick." It conveys a very positive, almost awestruck reaction. It's a strong compliment. For practice, think of something you've recently seen or heard that you thought was incredibly impressive or cool. How would you describe it using the slang term sick? Maybe a new piece of technology or a sports highlight.
Legit.
Our 11th word is legit. This is a shortened, informal version of legitimate. In slang, legit means authentic, genuine, trustworthy, or excellent. It's used to confirm the validity or quality of something or someone. If someone tells you about a fantastic deal on a flight, you might ask, "Is that website legit?" Meaning, is it real? Can I trust it? Or if a friend shows off a new pair of sneakers, you might say, "Those shoes are legit," meaning they're really cool or authentic. It can also describe a person who is honest and dependable. He's a legit guy. Always keeps his promises. Now, for your practice, imagine your friend tells you about a new online store with incredible reviews. How would you use legit to ask about its trustworthiness or quality?
Wanna, gonna, gotta.
Let's move on to some very common informal contractions that you'll hear constantly in spoken English. Wanna, gonna, and gotta. These aren't formal words you'd write in an essay, but they are absolutely everywhere in conversation. Wanna is a contraction of want to. So instead of, do you want to go to the movies? A native speaker will almost always say, do you want to go to the movies? It flows much more naturally. Or, I want to eat pizza tonight. It makes the language faster and more casual. Gonna is a contraction of going to. This is used for future actions. So instead of, I am going to visit my grandmother, you'll hear, I'm going to visit my grandmother. Or, what are you going to do this weekend? It's a key marker of informal spoken American English. Gotta is a contraction of got to or have got to, meaning must or need to. If you need to leave, you might say, I gotta go now. Or if you have a lot of homework, I've got to finish this assignment by tomorrow. It implies obligation or necessity. These three are so fundamental to sounding natural that they're almost more than slang. They're just part of how Americans speak quickly and informally. For your practice with these, imagine 3 short sentences you would say in a casual conversation. One using wanna, one using gonna, and one using gotta. For example, I want to learn more slang. She's gonna buy a new car. We gotta hurry.
Awesome. Cool. Dope.
These 3 words are all general positive adjectives that are incredibly common in American slang to express approval, excitement, or admiration. While awesome and cool have been around for a while, dope is a bit more recent and tends to be used more by younger generations, though it's widely understood. Awesome means extremely impressive or excellent. That concert was awesome, or you did an awesome job on your presentation. It conveys strong positive emotion. Cool is perhaps one of the most versatile and timeless slang words. It can mean trendy, fashionable, good, relaxed, or even just acceptable. That's a cool jacket. Let's meet at 7 p.m. Is that cool? It's a go-to word for general approval. Dope means very good, excellent, or stylish. It's a stronger, more emphatic version of cool. That new video game is so dope. Or, her outfit is totally dope. These words are interchangeable in many contexts when expressing general positivity, but dope has a bit more edge or intensity to it. For your practice, think of 3 different things you like and describe each one using awesome, cool, and dope. Maybe a movie, a song, and a new gadget.
Vibe.
Our next word is vibe. This is a shortened form of vibration. But in slang, it refers to the distinctive atmosphere, feeling, or mood of a place, situation, or person. It's about the overall impression or emotional energy. For example, you might walk into a coffee shop and say, "This place has a really good vibe," meaning it feels welcoming and pleasant. Or if you meet someone new, you might say, "I got a strange vibe from him," meaning you had an uneasy feeling about their personality. It's often used in the plural too. Good vibes, meaning positive feelings or energy. Sending good vibes your way is a common way to wish someone well. Your practice for vibe, Think about a place you love to be. What kind of vibe does it have? Or describe the vibe of a specific song or piece of music.
FOMO.
Now, we have an acronym that's become a full-fledged slang word. FOMO. This stands for fear of missing out. It describes the anxiety or apprehension that you might miss exciting or interesting events that other people are experiencing, especially if you see them on social media. It's a very modern concept. For example, if all your friends are going to a concert and you can't make it, you might feel some FOMO. Or, I need to check Instagram because I'm having serious FOMO about everyone's vacation photos. It's a widely recognized feeling in our highly connected world. For your practice, recall a time when you felt like you were missing out on something. How would you describe that feeling using FOMO?
Slay.
Our next slang word is slay. While traditionally slay means to kill someone or something, in modern slang, it means to do something exceptionally well, to perform outstandingly, or to look incredibly impressive. It implies absolute success or mastery. For example, if someone gives a brilliant presentation, you might say, "She totally slayed that presentation." Or if a singer delivers an amazing performance, you might hear, "Her vocals just slayed tonight." It can also be used about appearance like, "That outfit slays," meaning it looks fantastic. It's a very strong compliment, indicating remarkable success. Your turn to practice. Think of someone you know who is exceptionally good at something, maybe a sport or an art form. How would you use slang to describe their performance or skill?
No cap or cap.
These two related terms have become very popular recently. Cap as slang means a lie or an exaggeration. So if someone says something that sounds unbelievable, you might respond, "That's cap," meaning that's a lie, or "I don't believe you." Conversely, no cap means no lie, no exaggeration, or for real. It's used to emphasize that what you're saying is absolutely true and authentic. If you want to assure someone of your honesty, you might say, "I finished all my homework in an hour, no cap." Or, "This is the best pizza I've ever had, no cap." It adds a layer of authenticity and sincerity to your statement. For your practice, think of something you want to emphasize is absolutely true. How would you say it using no cap? And then imagine hearing something really unbelievable. How would you express disbelief using "that's cap"?
Ghosting.
Our next slang word is ghosting. This refers to the act of suddenly ending all communication with someone, especially a romantic partner or friend, without any explanation or warning. It's like you just disappear, like a ghost. This often happens in dating, where one person simply stops responding to texts or calls and vanishes from the other person's life. For example, "I thought we were hitting it off, but then he just started ghosting me. I haven't heard from him in weeks." It's generally considered a rude and frustrating way to end a relationship or communication. For practice, imagine a situation where someone suddenly stopped replying to your messages. How would you describe their action using ghosting?
Low key or high key.
These are two contrasting but commonly used slang terms. Low key means subtle, quiet, modest, or done in an understated way. It can also mean secretly or somewhat. For instance, "I'm low-key tired today," meaning I'm somewhat tired, but it's not super obvious. Or, "Let's have a low-key birthday party this year, just a few close friends." It suggests something that isn't flashy or loud. High key is the opposite. It means obvious, intense, or openly. If you are high-key obsessed with a new TV show, it means you're very openly and strongly obsessed. I'm high-key excited about the concert next month. It implies a strong, undeniable feeling or action. These are great for adding nuances to your descriptions of feelings or actions. For your practice, try to use low-key and high-key in 2 separate sentences. Perhaps describe a preference you have, and then an intense feeling. For example, I low-key prefer quiet evenings, and I'm high-key craving ice cream right now.
Salty.
Our next word is salty. In slang, salty means annoyed, angry, or bitter, often over something minor or trivial. It's like having a chip on your shoulder. If someone loses a game and then complains a lot about the rules, their teammates might say, "Don't be so salty. It was just a game." Or if you're still upset about something that happened a while ago, a friend might ask, "Are you still salty about that?" It conveys a sense of lingering resentment or irritation. For practice, imagine someone is upset because they lost a board game. How would you describe their mood using salty?
Tea.
Now for tea. In slang, tea means gossip or juicy, interesting information, especially about other people's lives. It's often served with the phrase, "spill the tea," which means to share the gossip. For example, if your friend looks like they have some exciting news to share, you might say, "Come on, spill the tea. What happened?" Or if you've heard some interesting rumors, you might tell a friend, "I've got some tea to tell you about what happened at work today." It's used in casual, often exciting conversations about news or secrets. For your practice, imagine you're excited to hear some news from a friend. How would you ask them to spill the tea?
Lit.
Our next slang term is lit. While lit is the past tense of light in formal English, in slang, it means amazing, exciting, or fantastic. It's often used to describe parties, events, or even just a general good mood. For example, that party last night was totally lit, meaning it was a lot of fun and very energetic. Or this song is so lit, meaning it has great energy and rhythm. It implies a high level of excitement and positive energy. It's often associated with vibrant, lively situations. For practice, think of a concert or a celebration that was incredibly fun and energetic. How would you describe it using the slang word lit?
Throw shade.
Throw shade is a fun and expressive slang phrase. It means to publicly criticize or express contempt for someone, often in a subtle, indirect, or nonverbal way. It's a way of disrespecting someone without being overtly aggressive. For example, if someone makes a backhanded compliment or gives a disapproving look, you might say, "She just threw some serious shade at him." Or if 2 celebrities are subtly insulting each other in an interview, you might comment, "They're definitely throwing shade at each other." It implies a nuanced, sometimes passive-aggressive way of showing disapproval. For your practice, imagine 2 friends who aren't getting along, and one makes a sarcastic comment about the other's new haircut. How would you describe that action using throw shade?
Basic.
Finally, let's look at basics. This slang term is often used, sometimes humorously, to describe someone or something that is unoriginal, mainstream, or predictable, especially in terms of tastes, preferences, or style. It implies a lack of individuality or sophistication, often associated with commonly popular but uninspired choices. For example, if someone only ever orders a plain latte and listens to the most popular pop music, another person might jokingly say, Ugh, that's so basic. It's not usually a harsh insult, but rather a playful jab or observation that someone conforms to popular trends without much thought. For your practice, think of a common trend or preference that many people follow. How might you describe it, perhaps playfully, as basis?
The importance of context and nuance.
You've probably noticed by now that many of these slang words, like chill, sick, or lit, can have entirely different meanings in formal English. This is precisely why understanding context is so crucial. Slang is all about the situation, the people you're talking to, and the overall tone of the conversation. You wouldn't use sick to mean cool when talking to your grandmother, for example, unless she's a very hip grandmother. Pay attention to who is speaking, where they are, and the general mood of the interaction. Also, remember that slang is constantly evolving. Words come and go, and their meanings can shift over time. The best way to stay current is to keep listening. Keep engaging with native speakers, and keep consuming English media like movies, TV shows, and podcasts.
Your active listening challenge.
So, how can you really make these words stick? The best way to learn slang, and any language really, is through immersion and active practice. For your ongoing active listening challenge, I want you to make an effort to notice these slang words in your daily English exposure. When you're watching a show and you hear someone say, "That's so chill," pause for a second. Think about what they mean in that specific context. Try to integrate one or two of these words into your own informal conversations this week, even if it's just with yourself or in a casual message. Start small, feel comfortable, and build up your confidence. The more you use them, the more natural they will become.
Wrapping up.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into American slang words. I really hope this session has been helpful and has given you a clearer understanding of how these words are used in everyday conversations. Slang truly is the spice of language, adding flavor and helping you sound more natural and confident. Remember, the journey to fluency is a continuous one, and every new word or phrase you learn brings you closer to your goal. Don't be afraid to experiment, and don't worry about making mistakes. That's all part of the learning process. Thank you so much for tuning in to English Active Listening. I'm Alyssa, and it's always a pleasure to spend this time with you. Keep practicing, keep listening, and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye for now.